Have you ever wondered why the American dollar seems to stand tall even when the world faces uncertainty, financial crises, and political tensions? Why does this green piece of paper continue to dominate trade, influence economies, and remain the go-to currency for nations across the globe? In this deep dive, we'll explore the real reasons why the American dollar holds such incredible power. We're not talking about shallow textbook explanations, we're uncovering the economic, political, and historical forces that have shaped the dollar into the world's most trusted currency. By the time you finish this video, you'll understand why no other currency has managed to overthrow it, and why the dollar's strength has profound consequences for the United States and the rest of the world. From the role of history to the influence of Wall Street, from America's military might to its trade dominance, each reason tells a story of how the dollar became more than just money. It became a symbol of stability, influence, and trust. And while many currencies rise and fall with time, the dollar continues to remain the backbone of global finance. So grab your seat, because we're about to break down the forces that keep the American dollar on top of the world's financial hierarchy. Historical legacy of global trust. The American dollar didn't become strong overnight. Its power is built on decades of trust that began after the Second World War, when the United States emerged as the world's largest and most stable economy. At that time, much of Europe and Asia was recovering from destruction, and nations needed a reliable currency to conduct trade and store value. The dollar, backed by the United States gold reserves under the Bretton Woods system, became that currency. Even when the gold standard ended, the trust in the dollar remained, because the United States had proven itself as an economic leader. This historical trust is like a strong foundation of a building. It allows the dollar to stand firm even when other currencies shake. Countries that suffered from hyperinflation, political instability, or economic collapse turned to the dollar as a safe haven. Over time, this pattern reinforced the idea that no matter what happens, the dollar is dependable. Investors, governments, and businesses around the world keep holding dollars because they believe it will still have value tomorrow, next year, and decades from now. This long-standing reputation gives the dollar a psychological edge over other currencies, because in global finance, perception is just as important as reality. America's economic size and stability. The United States has one of the largest and most diverse economies in the world, producing goods and services that are in constant demand. This means the dollar is always moving, buying oil, paying for technology, funding infrastructure, and fueling trade. A strong economy produces a strong currency, because it shows that the issuing country can support the value of its money. When global investors see the American economy growing, innovating, and leading in sectors like technology, finance, and manufacturing, they gain confidence in holding the dollar. Stability also plays a huge role. While no economy is perfect, the United States has avoided the kind of extreme economic collapses that destroy currencies. Even during recessions, its financial system has managed to recover quickly, reassuring the world that the dollar remains reliable. The vast network of industries, from agriculture to aerospace, gives the American economy resilience that many countries lack. This strength means the dollar is supported not just by faith, but by the real ability of the United States to produce wealth and maintain a steady flow of economic activity. The dollar as the world's reserve currency. One of the biggest reasons for the dollar's strength is its role as the primary reserve currency for central banks around the globe. This means that countries keep large amounts of dollars in their foreign exchange reserves to pay for international trade, settle debts, and stabilize their own currencies. The more countries rely on the dollar, the more demand there is for it, and higher demand naturally boosts its value. Being the world's reserve currency also means that the dollar is deeply embedded in the global financial system. International loans, commodity prices, and cross-border trade deals are often done in dollars, even if neither country involved is the United States. This global use creates a constant cycle where the dollar is in circulation everywhere, reinforcing its dominance. The trust in the American financial system and the fact that the U.S. government has never defaulted on its debt further solidify the dollar's position as the go-to currency for the world. Political and military influence. The strength of a currency is not just about economics, it's also about power. The United States holds enormous political and military influence across the globe, which indirectly strengthens the dollar. Nations tend to trust the currency of a country that has the capability to protect its interests and maintain global stability. The presence of American military bases around the world, combined with diplomatic reach, creates a perception that the United States is here to stay, and so is its currency. This influence also allows America to shape global trade rules, negotiate powerful trade agreements, and maintain relationships that keep the dollar flowing in international markets. In times of geopolitical tension, investors and governments often move their money into dollars because they believe the United States has the means to protect its financial system. Political and military stability act as a shield, protecting the dollar from external threats that could weaken it. Depth of the U.S. financial markets. The United States has one of the deepest and most liquid financial markets in the world. Wall Street is home to massive stock exchanges, bond markets, and investment funds that attract money from all corners of the globe. Investors prefer the dollar because it gives them access to these markets, where they can trade easily, find opportunities, and move large sums of money without destabilizing the system. The ability to invest in U.S. Treasury bonds, which are considered among the safest investments in the world, further adds to the dollar's appeal. These bonds give countries and investors a secure place to store wealth, knowing that the U.S. government has a history of honoring its debts. The combination of strong investment opportunities and safe assets makes the dollar an irresistible choice for those seeking both profit and security. Dominance in global trade. Many global commodities, from oil to agricultural products, are priced and traded in dollars. This forces countries that want to buy or sell these goods to use the dollar, increasing its demand. Even nations that are not political allies of the United States still rely on the dollar for trade, because it is the most widely accepted and easily exchangeable currency. This dominance in trade creates a self-reinforcing cycle. The more the dollar is used in international transactions, the more countries need to hold it, which keeps its value high. U.S. companies that operate globally also contribute to this effect, as they conduct business and settle payments in dollars, spreading its influence even further. Technological and innovation leadership. The United States is home to many of the world's most influential technology companies and innovators. These companies not only shape the global economy but also generate massive amounts of revenue in dollars. As they expand internationally, they bring the dollar into more markets and strengthen its position as the currency of global commerce. Innovation attracts investment, and investment attracts capital inflows, both of which support the dollar's value. When the world sees America leading in fields like artificial intelligence, space exploration, biotech, and renewable energy, it sees a future where the dollar will still be relevant and dominant. Global perception of safety. When crises hit, whether economic, political, or environmental, the world tends to rush toward the dollar. This phenomenon is known as the flight to safety, and it's one of the most powerful forces supporting the currency's strength. Investors know that even in turbulent times, the United States has the resources, systems, and leadership to keep its currency stable. This perception of safety is reinforced by America's history of weathering storms, from wars to recessions, and coming out stronger. No other currency has consistently offered the same sense of protection, which is why the dollar remains the safe choice when uncertainty rises. Influence of American culture and media. Believe it or not, culture also plays a role in the dollar's strength. American music, movies, technology, and lifestyle shape global trends, and this soft power increases the appeal of the United States as a whole. A country with cultural influence tends to have an economy that benefits from tourism, entertainment exports, and brand dominance, all of which drive demand for its currency. The global fascination with American brands, from fashion to fast food, means that foreign consumers and businesses often deal in dollars when interacting with U.S. companies. This cultural reach keeps the dollar in circulation far beyond American borders. Lack of a serious competitor. Finally, one of the reasons the dollar remains so strong is simply because no other currency has yet proven capable of replacing it. While the euro, yen, and other currencies have their strengths, they lack the combination of trust, stability, liquidity, and global acceptance that the dollar enjoys. Without a serious rival, the dollar maintains its position at the top almost by default. This absence of competition means that even countries that might prefer to use their own currency for trade often find it more practical to use dollars. Until another currency can match the dollar's reach and reliability, it will continue to reign supreme. The strength of the American dollar is not an accident, it's the result of history, economic might, global trust, political influence, and the absence of a true rival. It's a currency that has survived wars, economic crises, and shifting political landscapes, yet continues to dominate global finance. Every time you hear about oil prices, global trade, or major financial deals, the dollar is almost always part of the story. As long as the United States maintains its economic leadership, political stability, and global influence, the dollar will remain the world's most powerful currency. And while some nations may dream of replacing it, the reality is that dethroning the dollar is not just about numbers, it's about trust, history, and influence, all of which America still holds in abundance.